Good morning. Today is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Selectmen. It is September 23rd and it is 8:29 a.m. In front of you, you have today's agenda. There is one item I'd like to add to today's agenda. It's caffeine and carburetors approval. We could do that after public comment. That's all right. Could I get a motion to amend the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
If I could get a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay. And then you have on your tablets the minutes from our regularly scheduled September 16th meeting. Do I have any additions or corrections?
None here.
None.
Okay. If I could get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Public comment. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments to the Board of Selectmen on agenda topics scheduled for review and or vote. Comments submitted electronically should be sent to the following email address: bosdistribution@newcanaanct.gov. Do I have anyone wishing to address the board? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to caffeine and carburetors. Good morning. Come on forward and just push on the microphone. And you have to hold it hard. You have to push hard. There we go. Hold it. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. So you're here to get approval for a request to allow food and beverage vendors to sell products. So why don't you let us know what you're planning?
Yes, we are here to request approval to sell food and beverage at Caffeine and Carburetors on October 19th at Waveney Park. Right now, I think the hope is to have around 3 to 4 food trucks, 2 of which we know are already on the town's approved list of vendors. And the other 2 are committed to, following the correct procedures to get approval ahead of the event.
Okay. I've sat through a lot of these planning meetings, so
So Park and Rec, it has approved this already, right? So it's coming to us as the last step, or as far as I know the use of the park has, but the vendor side of it?
we're the only ones that have to
approve
approve the
it.
food and selling of items in the park. They have approved the event
Okay.
in
Perfect. And you've had food trucks there before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's worked out really well, I guess.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's good.
Are you selling coffee?
Very angry people,
Zoombox will not be selling coffee. No, but
we have
Waffle Cabinet knows one of the names.
Yeah. every vendor does sell some type of beverage, coffee or tea, hot chocolate for the kids.
They don't sell yours?
all his employees and people are working the event.
Programming at the store.
Yeah, it's just a great event, and this just adds more time people can walk around and be there, have something to eat. It's great. And hopefully have a great day, great weather, and the crowds have been amazing. So
Yeah.
it's a great event, and the fact that it raises money now for the Conservancy is just the cherry on top. So
Yes.
nice job.
We hope to do better.
Yes,
than
we're
last
really
October.
excited about
Yeah.
that. I think we raised over 24,000 last year and are hoping to push past that this year. So bright skies, knock on wood.
Your vendor, I mean, I know you're rain dependent, but they realize if you have to cancel it, then it's on them, right?
Yes,
Or whatever
absolutely.
relationship you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have are always in close contact with John Howe leading up to the event regarding the field status. And I know 2 years ago we had to cancel it, and we did so on Wednesday before the event. So we don't even like to leave it to the last minute. Unless there's a weather forecast,
Yeah,
that's sort of
nor'easter
up in
coming
the
in,
air
yeah.
on Friday, then that would be sort of the only way we'd kind of cancel
Mhm.
closer to the event.
Since Claire, most of our meetings are just internal meetings, and Doug, why don't you just talk a little bit about, has nothing to do with this approval, and I don't think we're gonna have any issue with the approval, but if you could talk a little bit, just so members of the public will hear all the planning that's been done as far as traffic flow and how,
Yeah.
event cars versus regular traffic and the outer lots. I think it would be
Working with
helpful to
service.
general members of the public and anybody listening on later.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I forget because we're
I
so
know.
in the details that it hasn't been widely communicated, but we've been working.
To your participants, it has, but
Yes. But to the town, we want to make sure everyone is sort of brought up to speed. So that's a great idea. But Doug and myself have been working really closely with the town, Diana, Tucker, our emergency services, CERT, John Howe. I mean, just as many people that sort of touch this event as possible to address, some of the concerns that came up around congestion with the show last year. And just, I think we're always kind of putting our heads together to evolve and grow with this event. So what we are planning to do this year is we really have a clear plan for traffic flow coming into Waveney that makes sure only registered vehicles are actually allowed to proceed and park within the park grounds. So if you are entering, we want to make sure traffic is kept flowing on the roads outside, so Lapham and South Avenue. Cars will be allowed to enter into the park, but if you are not registered, you will be directed back out of the park. So if you're coming in from South Avenue, you're directed back through into the high school. If you're coming in from Lapham, you're not registered, you're directed back sort of through past the pool onto Lapham Road. One of the other things that we're doing differently this year is we have shuttle buses scheduled to run from Talmadge Hill and from the Lumberyard lot in town. So we're really encouraging people to park at those roads or those lots, because the buses come, you don't have to walk to the event. You'll be shuttled right over and dropped right in the heart of the park. Or I guess not the heart of the park, sorry. Where we by the pool, but you're still, rather than having to walk all the way from the high school or South School, and it's just a much safer and I would say more convenient way to get to the show.
They'll be running every 15 minutes. So it's
Yes.
be
Does
convenient.
that answer most?
And
Okay.
they're encouraging the show cars to arrive early and
Yes.
And they have a placard or some kind of denotation that they are registered, so that
They'll be
as they're
going out.
entering.
Possibly today or tomorrow.
Yep. Yes. So we just received, we've already received a number of registrations. We're keeping track of those, and we'll be sending out or mailing out the registration cards that show cars are required to show in their window to, be admitted into the event.
How many show cars do you anticipate?
We have capacity for 1,500. And so we expect to get to that number. But it all, depends on
The
day
definition
of.
of show cars varies. Everyone who owns a nice car thinks it's a show car, but
The beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
that's true. And we'll fit them in.
And so do your show cars get there by a certain time? Like, I know you said encourage them early, but are they supposed to be there by 7 or 8?
Yes, we are instructing all of our show cars to arrive by 7:30. Which is different than we've said in the past. I think we're being a little bit firmer with our language this year. And that's really just to encourage more cars to get there as early as possible. So we're getting them off the roads in the park. But, if you're sitting in line at 7:30, of course, we're going to, allow that flow to come in.
Our volunteer staff will be there between 5:30 and 6, just to handle any early arrivals.
Wow, that's really.
Correct. It's a parked event. All show cars must remain parked until the end of the event at 11. So that's one of the other requirements that we communicate out to everyone.
And I know you guys encourage this, but the only thing that I've ever heard from at least the neighborhood around is the sound of how loud some of those cars are. And there's no way to avoid it if certain cars have certain exhaust systems on them that are loud. But anything you can do to try to get people to say, hey, listen, wait until you get to the parkway to try to,
We
step
don't
on the gas.
condone any revving of motors.
I know you, and
But
you've
you
talked about
always-
this for years.
You get one or two. So
And it's in all your communication. I mean, I've seen things that say
Yeah.
no rev,
Yeah.
but
And I think to that point, though, sometimes I think people don't realize that sometimes it's not even the revving of the engine. It's just that the car itself is a loud car. But we do really try and get it out there. This is a residential area. Be respectful. And I think, our volunteers really get on top of it if they hear anyone revving their engine. So we're doing the best we can.
But I mean, it's from the beginning when you started up there to now, it's so much more organized and you know what you're doing now. And every year it evolves and evolves and gets better and better and more organized. So I mean, it's a great event for the town. So
We try all new
Yeah.
things this year. If you know, the airport signal lights, the field have those now.
there you go.
So you can direct traffic in the dark. So we're open to any suggestion, and that's something we're going to try this year.
That's great. Okay.
All right.
Great.
Any
So
other
much.
questions?
No.
All right, if not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the new, approve a request from the organizers of Caffeine and Carburetors to allow food and beverage vendors to sell products during the already approved Caffeine and Carburetors event to be held on Sunday, October 19th, 2025 in Waveney Park.
So
Second.
It's unanimous.
thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll wish you good weather and a great event. All right, moving on to travel requests, John. Chief, sorry.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am here today to request travel for Deputy Chief Walsh and Captain Ferenga to attend the International Association of Chief of Police Conference in Denver, Colorado from October 17th to October 21. And travel expenses not to exceed 4,000.
Did you already book the airfare at $300 a piece? That seems like a
No, we're
good
waiting
value.
for approval today to
Yeah.
book the airfare. I think they reserved the hotel, but we didn't obviously get charged for that yet. But
Yeah.
we're waiting for today to get the airfare.
Yeah, it just seems like a good deal for the airfare. So hopefully you can get it.
Hopefully, it's still a good deal.
Which hotel is it at?
All right.
So which one do you go to?
I'm taking one for the team. I'm staying here and watching the store. Right?
Thank you.
Like, wait,
Go next year.
okay. All right. Any other questions?
So are we approving a not to exceed or come back? It's a little bit more they did. Just
It won't exceed.
That's
It's not to exceed.
Yeah, the budget, the
right.
language is not to
Thank you.
exceed. Okay,
No
any
questions
other
here.
questions?
Nope.
All right, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the New Canaan Police Department for travel expenses for Captain Joseph Ferenga and Deputy Chief Walsh in an amount not to exceed $4,000 in order to attend the International Association of Chiefs of Police Conference from October 17th to October 21st in Denver, Colorado.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, moving on to engineering consultant, traffic engineering consultant.
We've got Ellen Corvado.
Okay, great.
Good morning. So I am here to request that the town enter into a contract with Hardesty and Hanover to conduct a parking supply and demand study for the center school lot to not exceed $17,500. This is in accordance with the memorandum of understanding that was signed between the town and the library in October of 2021. It stipulated that within 1 year of the issuance of the new library's certificate of occupancy, an updated parking study would be conducted. The CO was issued in August of 2025, so we're hoping to start this now as we anticipate it will take probably a couple months to have meetings and then find the ideal dates for the study. So the MOU also, stipulated that the town has authority to select who the traffic consultant would be. We're requesting Hardesty and Hanover because they were the town's peer reviewer in 2021 when the town, had the P&Z approvals for the application. So they're familiar with the project. And it also stipulates that the library has to provide the funds for the study. So I'm happy to answer any specific questions that you have. I provided the scope that Hardesty and Hanover put together and the MOU for your reference.
I mean, we've had a lot of parking discussion lately. Can someone just talk about how, Ellen, maybe, how the parking has been going at the center lot? And, you guys have had a roaring success. And so that certainly drives probably people parking. So just to give people an update of how it's going over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, we're doing pretty well. There certainly have been some bottlenecks and pressure points, and we've worked very hard to sort of mitigate those with respect to how we adjust our programming. We're very conscious of not programming anything other than book babies on a Wednesday morning, for example, where we have an enormous amount of pressure on the system, because we have wonderful, 50 toddlers and caregivers there. But I'd say that people do have, sometimes there are short tempers when people are arriving too late for things and they can't find a spot. As you know, Amy, we're not out there monitoring what goes on at a daily basis in the parking lot. So it's a little bit hard to give you anything other than the anecdotes from what we hear from folks. We know there was, a couple of incidents that were unfortunate that we'd certainly like to not have repeated, but I'd say there could always be more parking in New Canaan. So
I think the genesis of this really kind of was driven by the town side, not, so, we've gotten a few complaints. And so as part of the MOU for
Yeah.
the.
It was
approval.
part of the deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed back then, looking at the lot, obviously there's a lot of green space in that lot. There's berms and trees and a lot of things that you wouldn't necessarily want to lose, but reconfiguring the spaces, there's certainly more grass area towards South Avenue that can be looked at. And if you can gain a few spaces to alleviate some of those bottlenecks, I've been over there and seen creative parking 101, which is parking up on berms, parking on grass, parking all over the place, because people they need to get to where they're going, and they say, well, I've got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So, but I think this is it shows that the town and the library are responsible in terms of living up to the MOU, and that's the agreement. And I'm anxious to see the results of the study. Hopefully, Sarah, they'll do the study during all different times of the day, right? I mean,
Correct.
yeah.
So it'll be twice on a weekday in the morning and then in the afternoon. It will be at least once on a Saturday, and then it stipulates that they have to study during an event, whether that's on a weeknight or on a Saturday during the day. The library will have to advise when a good event is to do that.
Ellen, how is the pull-off worked out where folks can pull up and sort of drop off? Has that been working okay?
Well, I mean, Steve, people do use it. And I think in some cases, there's a little bit of a sort of a waiting line that happens there. There maybe isn't as much circulation as we might like. But I think it gets well used during the day. We certainly, the purpose of that pull-off was to enable people to both drop off their books at the book drop area, but also perhaps, to pick people up who may have more limited abilities. So as far as I'm aware, it's working well. People are using it.
Yeah, and I think, if you think back to what that street used to be, I mean, it used to be a major cut through. There was no crosswalk there. It was a wider road, and there was no crosswalk, which is very visible. So I think speeds have actually dropped a little bit there, because people, when they enter into that area, they know there's a lot going on there. So hopefully,
Yeah.
we've
And
seen
there's
people.
mitigation there, right? So you have the speed bump is mitigation. And I think one of the things that we could certainly imagine coming from the study is some recommendations on further traffic flow mitigation, before we have to go to something extreme like, taking out any of the green spaces.
Yeah. And the back entrance of the parking lot, are folks using onto South Avenue as much as they are the other entrance and exit, do you think?
I suppose we'll find that out. Again, I don't have anything other than
Yeah.
anecdotal evidence to offer you today. I do think we can probably improve when people come in, just my own observation, when people are coming in on Maple. Some people really still want to make a left-hand turn into the lot, and that's not what the traffic pattern permits. So there might be either signage or some physical barrier that might help with that. I do see that as being a bit of a confusing layout for folks.
I know, despite the arrows.
Yeah,
The bright white arrows on the floor, on the ground.
I will say that
Habits die hard.
It's true. And I will say though that the putting of, the stenciling of library, I think has made a big difference. We've had, I think, fewer questions about where library parking is because of that. That was an important thing. So thanks again to Tiger for helping us to execute that.
What's the current count, Tiger, in terms of spaces, library versus town?
76 for the library and 90 something for town.
690, that's
Yeah.
a breakdown. So will Hardesty and Hanover study that in terms of needing more for the town's use, you think? I mean, will that be part of what?
So yes, they will be evaluating who is utilizing the spaces, and then, you know, it's kind of cumulatively for the whole lot. Whether it's the town that's, you know, spilling over, or if it's the library that's spilling over, or if there is no spillover. So yeah.
And do we still sell permits there for the, so,
When you offer the permits now for free, Steve, I think that's one of the things that's sort of a bit of a change that we didn't necessarily know about or anticipate either, was when we went into full-blown use mode, it was also at the same moment that the permittees were given free parking. Which
Oh, and
now
that happened
is the
before
norm.
the library
That's
was
been in
built.
place for
That
many,
was,
many
that
years.
predates the
does
library
predate, yeah.
construction. Yeah, it predates the
Was it-
library.
But it
What's that,
probably doesn't
$100
predate the
for-
parking agreement. I don't
It's
know when
free.
that.
That was,
It did. It predated the parking agreement
it
as
was
well.
pre-COVID actually too.
Yeah, it's pre-COVID.
So that was an effort that the chamber took on years ago to help with the employees parking all on Elm Street and South, is to give the free parking to many of the lots, and Center School was definitely one of them. We are hearing, and that's, I think, to Deanna's point about this was initiated by us, we are hearing, Stacy's hearing, that a lot of those people, it's not a guaranteed spot when we give people these spaces, because many people work part-time, they don't work every day, but they are coming in and calling Stacy quite often and saying, I can no longer find a spot when I come in at 9 a.m. to go to work. And that's a new, since the library came on, that's a new response. So that was part of the reason why we needed to look into this.
Yeah, I mean, we open at 9, so that would be unusual to have all of our spaces filled, right, Tucker? So,
Yeah, it's, as I say, that's just what we're hearing from them. Some of the stores open
Yeah.
at 10, some start at 9, but that's the feedback that we were getting from a lot of the merchants, was that they no longer can get those spots.
Ellen, where do your employees park?
we park at St. Aloysius. We have an arrangement with St. Aloysius.
Terrific, terrific. You know, this is obviously Warrenton and it's great, but I think it's, you know, we think about parking, but as they're doing this, but I would tell you that is one of the most attractive parking lots we have, with the trees and the canopy and, you know, minimized asphalt and taking down, you know, the heat that you have. So I hope as they're doing this, we're focusing on parking, but we're also focusing on aesthetics and the general, you know, climate and visual for the town. Because it really, I mean, it's very pretty for a parking lot. You don't generally say, wow, what a pretty parking lot. But
And we also got AC, their trucks back off the street there for visibility and safety, and put them up into the center school lot. So is that 2 spaces there, Tiger, or 5? Yeah,
And they pay for that.
yeah, and they pay for that. So, but that was a nice arrangement, because if you remember when the trucks were on Main Street there, it was really tough to see as you made the right. So
Yeah, that was a police commission recommendation. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we have lots of needs. I mean, I think that was identified during the library construction, that was going to be a concern, and it's bearing fruit. We know it is, you know, so it's a, you know, good problems to have, but, you know, we just need to try and figure out the best way to manage all the, you know, the density of people needing to utilize the parking lot. So
how long before? So it's deliverables, or is there a time where we're going to hear back, or it's
So there is not. The anticipation is we would love to have the study done in October, but I think worst case it would be before Thanksgiving, because we don't want to fall into the holiday season. We just want a regular week to do the study.
Okay.
And then the findings will be presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission. That was what was stipulated.
And I'm just wondering, are we also going to be surveying the people who have the permits, or the people who are looking for permits? So we also have good data there.
So that is not explicitly listed in the scope of services, but you know, the intention with, I think it's tasks 3 and 4, is that the consultant would be specifically tracking who is parking in the lot and then going straight into the library. So in theory, that
Yeah,
would,
Sarah, it's more a question for the selectmen, just wondering if we're going to be accurately measuring that side of it, because there is a demand component to that, right? I think it would be just helpful to know.
fair.
Yeah, how many, she's asking how many permits are given to the employees.
Yeah, what
How
does
many
that
sp-
demand
How
curve
many
look
permits
like?
are given out for employee parking spaces?
Because many of the people only work 2 days a week, right? One spot can use 3 or 4 permits. So I don't have that actual number. But I don't think she has a wait list as I am aware of now.
Yeah, so let's just coordinate.
Yeah, so Jen,
Stacy in the kickoff meeting for the study, and she can get us whatever data, you know,
Okay.
the consultant
I mean,
requests.
it's probably one of the most used lots we have. I mean, it's always busy over there. So
Well,
we-
I mean, let's be honest. The whole reason we put people there was we wanted them off of Elm Street and we wanted them off of Park Street so that people who came here to shop
Right.
would have a place to shop and not have to be going to the library to park to go shop in downtown. So it's a business development, thing that we implemented to help the merchants in downtown New Canaan who are huge taxpayers.
Right.
So it's a very successful thing. We have them, there's premium parking in Morse Court that merchants pay to use, and they pay a higher price than the free. And then there's some, and some people are at Locust. So there's Locust, there's that. So, I mean, to be frank, we want to be encouraging that use so that people who come into town who are going to be spending dollars to,
Support our businesses,
support
yeah.
our businesses who are taxpayers in this community
Yeah,
are
service and all
assisted.
that. Yeah.
So for us, that's a huge priority.
And we are helping
Yeah,
your step
It's,
count.
it's a
That's
big
right.
win for,
Everybody, it's
That's
all for
right.
your health.
That's right.
it's a big win for the town. There's no question about it. I'm just questioning if we could just really understand what the demand might look like so that if we're having to bring in more spaces in some configuration, we understand what that's going to look like, right? So we're not guessing on the number of new spots we need without having that information of understanding what the permittees might be looking for.
Right. Well, so, I mean, to be fair, the town lost 76 spots for general use by giving them to the library. So we did lose 76 spots. And so that was part of the conversation as, when we couldn't put the parking underneath the library. That was a give to the library because it's a great project, but the town lost 76 spots in the process. We don't get revenue from that. We
We pay annually. We pay you
$10,000
a year.
Yeah, they 10,000 a year.
Nothing major. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
It's 10,000 a year. So I mean, we do, but
But if it's one thing we've learned over the years in town, it's parking is such it's moving the pieces around. It's a constant, project that we have. I mean, we're doing it right now on Elm Street. We're moving people to Park Street.
Right.
It's amazing how over the years you have to go with the flow and study it and keep moving. And this is a case of exactly what we're doing right now is trying to figure out how to serve everybody and make it fair for everybody. So it's the YMCA just went through a major parking job over there, and they were able to expand some of their parking on the sides of the building, and they got pretty creative. So hopefully we'll be able to figure out a good way to do this, and it still looks great over there. So
yeah, I was at a recognition event for them last week, and Ms. Riley mentioned, she said, I'd never thought I'd be so excited about a parking lot, but it was instrumental to their operation. So she was very excited about the expansion. So I think we're growing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. We just have to manage the growth. Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions for Sarah or Tiger or Alan?
Thanks for
Thanks,
this.
Alan.
Get going.
Okay, so if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Planning and Zoning Department to enter into a contract with Hardesty and Hanover in an amount not to exceed $17,500 in order to perform a parking utilization study of the center school parking lot. Cost will be provided by the New Canaan Library per the memorandum of understanding.
So
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sarah.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to portable restrooms.
fun
Very
stuff. Oh, yeah.
excited.
So we're looking to enter into a contract with GI John's of Monroe, Connecticut. We've been using the same company for many, many years. One of the issues, they're a Danbury-based company. We need a second cleaning of them during the week, during busy times, like this time of year with the fall sports programs.
Yeah.
So when they gave us pricing for that, it was rather high. So we went out looking at other companies. So we looked at 3 different companies, and GI John's by far gives the best service. Some of the sports groups have used them. We actually used them as a trial last year at the fall fair to see how they'd work out. They're very responsive. We think this will work out well, and the town will save a little bit of money. So
How many units do we have?
well, like right now, we have 8 units around. The town does. The Dunning has 2 units at the stadium, and then it's the special events. As we switch over, like once we open up the paddle hut, we need to add one to the paddle area because the outdoor bathroom can no longer be used. So it's things like that. It fluctuates throughout.
This includes adding ones and it's.
Yes,
need for
the
entire
whole
year.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you spreadsheet is huge when you start looking at all the possibilities times a year and everything else, because some of it's cleaning them once a week. You know, like for whatever reason, we don't have a problem with Irwin and Kiwanis. The ones we have there, they're fine being cleaned once a week.
Great.
So we'll also be using this same company, GI John's, for the fireworks, the Dunning Stadium, of course, cross-country events, anything like that. My hope would be like caffeine and carburetors, we'll be able to use them for their events. So
And this, we don't own anything. It's
Yep.
just, which is
Yep.
great. It's
Yep.
just.
the
it's
rental,
on.
yep.
They don't have to deal with all the crazy things that happen with some of our outdoor bathrooms that the town has.
It's like interesting.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And thank you, John, for going out and looking at a better deal for the town. So
What
thank
did
you.
we pay last year? And that was with one cleaning, right?
One cleaning, basically just under $20,000. I don't have the exact number. We're fairly close to the same number.
Oh, with better service.
Better service twice a week. We're either going to go with a Monday, Thursday schedule or a Tuesday, Friday schedule. So
That's great.
it's going to help a lot.
Perfect. All right, so no further questions. If I could get a motion to approve a request from the Parks and Recreation Department to enter into a contract with GI John's in an amount not to exceed $18,500 plus a contingency of $1,850 for a total cost of $20,350 to perform portable sanitation units.
So moved.
Second,
How about perform cleaning of portable sanitation units? We'll add that to the language. Okay, thank you. And then conference travel.
Okay. So this is for the fall conference for the Connecticut Recreation Park Association. Both myself and Zach, I'm not taking one for the team like the chief. It's at Mohegan Sun. This should have been labeled as not to exceed the
Okay.
1630. The conference is already decided at the $1,230. But the meals and travel, it is just a not to exceed number. I think it will be much lower than that. So the CRPA conference is probably the premier one in New England. The New England Park Association does also a conference, but this one is based for us. It's been a great place for us to find different vendors. This year, we're going to be looking at some of the music. So for our summer concerts, so we can update them, that type of stuff. So it's educational seminars, but it's also a trade show. So
it's a 2-day conference, is that what it is?
it's a 2-day conference. So Zach and I will go for the 2 days. And Steve will come up. He only wants to come up for 1 day, Steve Dayton.
Okay, so it's like one night a hotel.
1 night a hotel.
And then.
And the hotel is included in the 2-day conference.
So, any questions?
No, these are always great to get new ideas, and it's
Mhm.
good to get you guys out there.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right. So if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for travel expenses for John Howe, Zach Philippus, and Steve Dayton in the amount of $1,630 in order to attend the 2025 Connecticut Recreation and Parks Association Annual Conference.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. General update, Tiger. There's a lot going on in town right now. A lot.
Just a little busy.
Moving quickly on the roof over there.
Yes, yeah, they started yesterday. They're on that first third, and they'll be working through this side first, taking about 3 weeks. Jump to the other side about 3 weeks. So if you went into the downtown, we finished 2 of the decorative crosswalks yesterday. We had the lower end of Elm Street closed from Main Street to South Avenue. We appreciate the businesses in that area allowing us to do that, but we got that area done. So now that area will be open. They look gorgeous. I got a compliment last night from one of our police officers about him because he was on duty. So that work is ongoing. The 106 paving from East Avenue, on East Avenue from Main Street to 123 still has one section left to go. DOT hasn't scheduled as to when that's going to be.
I did see that nice seam.
That nice seam, yeah. So we did have them come back out yesterday and sweep because we called them yesterday morning and said, "Are you going to come out here and sweep? If not, we're going to get out here and do it." And they brought a machine out immediately to take care of it. So look, they dressed it up nicer. It looks a little bit better, but it still has some work to go on it. We're finishing up our paving. We're on. We finished milling River Street. We've got to mill Nutmeg, and then we're going to start paving Nutmeg and work our way back. So we got about 8 roads left to go. We'll be done within. Well, weather's going to come in. We took a roof off, so now we got weather, right? So we're going to have a little bit of weather Thursday, Friday, but we'll be finishing within the next week or so on that. And then the Brushy Ridge 123 intersection improvements. They're saw cutting today, and they'll start work in earnest tomorrow. So hopefully the residents in that area will be happy that we'll be getting the pedestrian improvement on that intersection. And then the most important thing, the police commission approved a stop sign installation at the intersection of White Oak Shade and Gertie's Road on Wednesday night. So we're going to be putting out a variable message sign saying that the stop sign's coming. We're going to do that. So it got posted in the New Canaanite. I talked to the Sentinel last night. They're going to put it in the paper Thursday morning. Friday morning, we're going to put the message board out saying stop sign coming. And a week later, we're going to put the stop signs out with bags on them with the message board saying stop sign coming. And then the week after that, we're taking the bags off. So it'll be about a 2-week process, 3-week process to have it done. The main thing is just safety, so people know that it's coming.
Congratulations, 50 years in the making. We got it done.
Yeah, right. It's at least 26 for me. I can't, that's all I can tell you, but yeah. So it's one of the first stop signs we put in a long time, apart from the Conrad Whiffletree area, but that was more of intersection work. And then the Waveney lot will start on the 29th of September. And then work through that. You're welcome.
It's a big day, September 29th. We start getting the machines. So everybody's seen the pads. You didn't mention them.
Sorry, I didn't get to that point. Sorry, not as sexy, but yeah, the pads are out. The brick is all repaired. They're ready, as Deanna mentioned. So September 29th, 30, they'll go in. We'll be doing a wholesale changeover, all the signage and the pavement markings.
Actually, those don't go in until the October 1st. The 29th is the reprogramming of all the existing. Sorry, I have a very detailed schedule here because I can't keep track of it.
It's all good.
There's too many moving parts, so I have to write it down for myself. Yes. So just everybody, the week of September 29th is a big week for the parking kiosks and reprogramming to pay by plate instead of pay by space. And Tiger and the parking department, his group will be working together to get rid of all the numbers on all the parking spaces. And, the app is working in the park street lot right now. You still pay by space if you go to the machine right now, but they got a little ahead of us on the app, but, so it's coming.
Yeah, the education process begins. That's
Yeah.
basically the way to.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be going out. So we're having
this is really, really handy. Okay.
So that is gonna
Yeah.
go to, this week on Thursday, I think, the 25th. We're having a meeting with all the merchants and Tucker and Stacy and Laura Budd are gonna be going around to all the merchants, giving bundles of that with a letter about all the improvements that are coming to town. And, it'll be available on our website. So if anybody has questions about where they can park and how you pay for it, or, what's paid, what's free, that'll be on the website. So it's
like a 2-pager. It says parking at a glance. Welcome to New Canaan, Connecticut. It's got a nice map in the middle of it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
Yeah.
Yeah,
piece.
the map's really helpful.
Yeah, thank you to Tucker and Greg Riley and Stacy and Laura Budd and, it was just, and BJ at New Renew helped do the map. So it's just been
So are these going to be available like in the merchants,
yes,
which is helpful?
That's the whole point. Is that, I recall, and Laura still says that she hears the merchants often say, somebody walks in, a customer walks in and says, "Oh, I couldn't find any parking." And one of the interesting facts on there is we sort of added up all the parking, and there's actually 1,600 parking spaces in the downtown. I mean, that includes everything, lumberyard. But the point is that while that number doesn't really mean a lot, at least now the merchants will have something that they can say, "I'm sorry that it was difficult for you. Here is a brochure that will help you." There's a QR code on the back. So if they want to just load it onto their phone with all the information, and especially for people that are coming to visit, whether it's Glass House or any of our other things. So I just talked to the chief, and they're going to put it on the screen at the police department. So we're just going to get it out. We ordered 4,000 copies. We're going to give them to the library. We're going to have them everywhere.
I think it's really helpful. So I have just a logistic question. Like someone might be going, okay, Elm Street, South Avenue, paid 2-hour max. Does that mean like we're not doing it by space, we're doing it by plate? So you go to one spot, 2 hours, you're over. Can you move your car and go to another space?
no.
Okay.
Street. That's why it says max.
For an
on the
hour.
street.
I
You
just
have
want to
be
make
off
sure.
the
Yeah,
street
but
in
yeah.
any of the lots, if there's a max, you have to be either out of the lot or off the street for at least an hour before you can come back.
Yeah, so you can't just renew it, so people know that.
Term for that is forced rotation. And
Mhm.
it's a concept that a lot of parking consultants
Works, yeah.
will suggest, because it forces, the whole point of this is to keep the circulation
Got it.
moving and to have a certain amount of spaces open at every given time. So that's what that does. That forces the rotation.
Terrific.
And Tiger, you didn't update on the ramp, just so that, because the ramp is a key
Right.
part of this.
So we're waiting on one key movement of one pole. Utilities off a pole, the pole's already there to be relocated to. And that's Frontier Altice Optimum. We're waiting for them to move over, and then the contractor will be up there working. He's slated to come tomorrow to take care of that.
In the rain.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully the rain will be easy tomorrow. We're hoping to pave tomorrow and then rain come in tomorrow night. But yeah, Thursday, Friday are the days we think are gonna be a washout.
So I don't know. I came downtown. I don't often come downtown on the weekends. In the middle of the afternoon, I just like usually dinner if I'm downtown. But I was in town at 3:00 to go pick something up, and I could not believe the amount of double parking. And I literally could not pass a car because it was so congested to get around, somebody waiting to pull into a spot. I was like, it's 3:00 on a Saturday. What is going on?
Busy.
Shopping, hopefully.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
dining
dining,
and
yep.
shopping. I mean, it was bustling. It was really busy, which is great to see. But the frustration of that is, I've heard it. So
And we'll get this out. Are we doing a press release for
Yes,
the local
yes.
papers?
We literally were waiting. Machines arrived yesterday because we've been waiting on that. So as Deanna said, that's why this whole schedule. We're having the merchant meeting on Thursday. Laura's got a great sign up of everybody at the Playhouse. And then, yes, we're dropping bundles of these off every week today, the next couple of days with the merchants. And then, we're going to be putting it everywhere and sending it out digitally and using a press release and all of that.
Is this, I know we're talking about putting a kiosk, like a, little
Yeah,
thing in New
yeah,
Canaan, and this
yeah,
will be up
yeah.
on, what's
Classic.
the timing of that? I know it's kind of
We're just looking at a design right now. Mark Markevich, who joined TDAC, has been really helpful as an architect and sent us a bunch of different potential designs. We've honed in on one, so he's getting us a plan set right now so that we can start putting some pricing around it. And it'd be nice to get it up and going because this would be a perfect thing that we.
Yeah, I mean, those are just great.
Yeah.
And when you go anywhere, like it's almost like a mall, which is torture, but you know, this
Yeah.
is where you are. The
That
kids-
space over that new bump out space
Yep.
is just calling for something like that. So.
Terrific.
Right. Tiger, one more thing, South Avenue. The repaving of it.
So the, thank you. The,
Or not,
Since
thank you.
Steve drives it every single day, multiple times
It's
a
good for
day.
business, I'll say that. Lots of,
if you slow down a little bit and stay closer to the left portion of the lane,
Yeah.
it's a little bit better. Stay on the right-hand side of the lane, it's terrible. So you kind of shade to a little bit.
To be
the
fair, I've
left.
told my husband, do not get on that. When we were driving one day, I said, why are we on this road right now?
But they
It's
went
bad.
out, they went out to bid. He received-
And a reminder to the public, neither South Avenue nor East Avenue are town projects. These are state
roads.
projects. And so, you know,
I'm saying what's happening. Yeah, it's basically, and then apply pressure saying, I'm getting a lot of pressure. You got to help me out. So they went out to bid. They got their contractor and the trenches will be all repaved. The trenches themselves are not going to overlay the entire road. They're just going to take care of, remove the trenches, repave each one of the trenches. And that has to be done by November 15th. So they're hoping for around an earlier date, but it has to be done by the 15th of November per the DOT. And we're working right now on timing, and we're trying to say sometime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. will be the times of work that the contract be allowed. So we'll get the morning rush into the schools and then work and then get off the street by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon before the rush again in the afternoon. But that's the direction we were given the state right now. So.
yeah, I mean, originally you said November, which is the same date, November 15th. I mean,
It's-
as it
yeah.
stands, that road is not even plowable. You can't put a snowplow down and plow that
It's
road.
not our
You'd
plows, but yeah,
you'd
you're
lose
right.
your teeth. I mean, it's bad.
There's some tough spots there. But yeah, the November 15th is the drop dead date for the DOT, but they push everything back to October 15th, saying you're off the street for your work. You've got to start paving on October 15th and move forward. So it's really an October 15th date, but it's not a finish date. That's why I try to give the outside date saying that they has to be done by November 15th.
All right, thank you.
any other questions?
Nope.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, moving on to meeting schedule, Board of Selectmen meeting schedule. Any questions?
I have no idea what
I
next
know.
year,
Well,
what
the
next
one-
year
the one
holds,
thing
so
that-
we'll just
Yes,
try to plan
we've been
around
very
it.
good board and work well together, collegial in, you know, if one of us has an issue, and as long as we have 30 days notice, we
Yeah.
can reschedule. So
Flexibility.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We like that. All right. We all play well in the sandbox together, which is very nice. Okay, so if I could get a motion to approve the Board of Selectmen meeting schedule for calendar year 2026.
So
It's unanimous. All right, and then Tucker. Okay. Yeah, everywhere. Okay.
Since TDEC began 2020, I think, we've always had a representative from Grace Farms as part of that team. And we were so fortunate to have Meg Healy-Walsh for the last several years. Oh, here's Valerie. Meg has moved on into different roles. She's still with Grace in a smaller capacity, but in terms of this community role, we now have Valerie McVeigh, who has raised her hand to join us. And I've met with her a few times. Deanna's met with her. And Valerie, maybe you just want to quickly introduce yourself and let us know how you're interested in being part of TDEC.
Sure. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you, those of you online and in person. My name is Val McVeigh. I'm the new Director of Strategic Programming for Grace Farms Foundation. I joined in the spring and I'm helping kind of launch the 10-year season, which kicked off just a few weeks ago. And we've got a jam-packed schedule full through May of 2026. Really happy to be asked to join this committee and support the efforts of the town and also represent Grace Farms. So happy to be here. Thanks.
And we're thrilled to have
Yeah.
Grace Farms represented for sure.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for raising your hand to help the town. It's lots of great initiatives by TDAC to improve the climate in the community. So it's been great. Any questions? If not, if I could get a motion to approve the appointment of Valerie McVeigh to the Tourism and Economic Development Advisory Committee for a 3-year term ending December 1st, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you,
Thank
Valerie.
you.
Thanks
And
for stepping up, Val.
thanks, Valerie.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. And then you have on your tablets the contracts under $10,000. If you have any questions. If not, I guess for selectmen's comments, I have 2 things. First, I just wanted to make the community aware. We haven't talked about it in a while, but the proposed regional water authority acquisition of Aquarian water is in with Pura right now. I think I mentioned that I went up to testify a month or so ago. And we have joined with Westport, Ridgefield, and Fairfield. We are splitting the legal representation costs with those 3 other towns in our opposition to this acquisition. I would say that all 116 or all towns that are involved in this proposed acquisition are against all fierce selectmen, regardless of party. It is a universally
That's a
not,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is a rare day when
Everybody's
Democrats and
aligned.
Republicans are aligned on an issue. This is one issue everyone is aligned on. I did get some sad news or disappointing news, really. Melissa Gillette, the head of Pura, is stepping down as of October 10th, and the decision on this issue is happening October 22nd. So our attorneys are working through that. It is a disappointment. I know there's some letters that are being formulated. I just was asked by Westcog, if I wanted to add my name to a letter, another letter, which I said I would, but stay tuned. But I just wanted everybody to be aware that
Every single town's against this.
every single town in the Aquarian system is against this acquisition.
Wow.
Every single one. So Westcog has come out against it. MetroCog has come out against it.
So if 169 towns are against it, then we should be getting some national help from.
Who's for
from-
it?
from-
Well, unfortunately,
from
in the
our
middle of the night,
representatives.
the legislature passed the ability of RWA to do this acquisition. This is what happens when things don't get fully fleshed out in the public. There was no public hearing over this. It's just, it is what it is. So we continue to,
Fight.
but yeah, can't continue to fight. I would encourage anybody that is, to write their legislators, write to Pura. So I think
Because the result
number.
is it's basically unregulated at that point, and you're gonna see a major increase in your water.
Yeah, the minor, I've never seen a situation where the minority representative on a board has the majority of seats. And that is what will happen with RWA. With the proposed 11-person board for this system will have six RWA seats, 5 Aquarian seats. They have a smaller system than we do. So it's just an interesting, poorly thought out process. And the acquisition price is huge. So the amortization of the payout of those costs is gonna increase costs to all the people who are on Aquarian /RWA water if that goes through. So anyway, so stay tuned. And then just
Any good news?
I wanted to say Shana Tova to all our Jewish residents. Today's Rosh Hashanah. So Happy New Year to everyone. So anything else?
Great time of year. I mean, there's
Oh.
so many programs coming up and so much to do in town. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful time of the year. So,
Yeah.
Go out and enjoy the weather. It's great, except for Thursday, Friday. But
Yeah.
It's gonna stop Friday. It's gonna stop.
Just for Amy, just for Amy and the Rotary.
yes, Lobster Fest. right?
Lobster Fest.
But we do need rain, we have to admit. It
Yeah.
is dry around
Yes,
here.
Yes, yes.
It's dry.
right.
Unlike Camelot, it's not just at night. So
Could I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I need a
Oh, second, sorry.
It's unanimous.
Hour
Yes.
off.